Hey friends, welcome back. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Courtney. Today I'm going to be sharing my demo, swatches, and review of the Too Faced White Peach palette. So this palette contains a mix of matte, shimmer, and glitter shades, and it's supposed to be a cool tone version of the Sweet Peach. I'm going to go ahead and show you swatches first. Peach Cream is a matte soft cream. Peach Suede is a matte dusty rose. Peaches and Dreams is a golden peach pearl. Creme de la Peach is a soft coral with gold sparkle. Peach Sorbet is a matte creamy peach. Glistening Peach is a rose gold with sparkle. Peach Smoothie is a matte rose taupe. Sweet Fig is a matte smoky mauve. Peach Ice is a white shimmer with gold sparkle. Fuzzy is a matte creamy gray. On the Grill is a matte charcoal gray. And Peach Passion is a deep orchid with blue and purple sparkle. I'm going to go ahead and insert the demo of me using every single color in this palette in several different looks. So I went ahead and put on my eyeshadow primer. I used Too Faced Shadow Insurance on my lids. I used the Colorescience Total Eye under my eyes. I set it with my Milani Prep Set Go setting powder. And I'm just going to dig into this palette and see what happens. I'm going to try and use every single shade. So I'm using Peach Cream. And just kind of applying that as a wash on my brow bone / crease because I have hooded eyes. Very powdery formula. Definitely smells like peaches. I'm going for Sweet Fig next and applying this as a transition shade. I like that this is a cool tone. It's a really nice cool tone on me. Sweet Fig and Peach Cream apply and blend out very nicely. I'm spraying my brush with All Nighter Spray because I want to use Peach Passion and it looks like it's going to be glittery and messy otherwise. Oh my god, it's a purple that has pigmentation from Too Faced. This is amazing. All right, I'm grabbing a different brush just so that I can try it with a dry brush too, just to see how well it works or doesn't work. It's okay with a dry brush. I still think it looks better with a wet brush. All right, I'm gonna take On the Grill, which seems to be their deepest shade. And I'm going to put a little bit of definition at the outer part of my eye. It's also very powdery. And I'm grabbing a Sigma E25 to blend this out. I guess really I don't need to do both eyes since I'm just testing this out, but I wanted to test at least out. I wanted to test the bluish purple color out just to see how it worked. I'm gonna go back with a little bit more of that Sweet Fig. I'm finding if I kind of just press like this, my brush onto the pan, it kicks up less powder and I do prefer that. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of a highlight with Peach Ice. Oh my god, Peach Ice is like super just glittery, barely seems to adhere to my brush, but it'll work as a little highlight at the inner corner. All right, so I would say that this isn't bad. The colors blended out pretty well. The purple performed way better than I expected because I have been ragging on Too Faced purples for a long time. I think their last good purple was probably Black Orchid, Night Orchid, something like that. It was some sort of orchid color. All right, so here's look one. I've got several more colors to use in the palette, so I'm gonna go on to the next look. This is Peach Suede. And I'm just trying to apply it as crease color. It's also got that sort of powdery formula, but it seems to blend out okay. Has fairly good pigmentation. I'm bringing this color down onto my lid, the mobile part of my lid. I'm gonna blend out the edges with Peach Cream. Yeah, we've already used this color, but yeah, it blends out nicely. All right, I'm gonna try Creme de la Peach on my lid. It's like a pastel matte orange. It has gold glitter, but I don't feel like the gold glitter really translates to the lid at all. It definitely looks lighter on my eye than it appears in the pan. I'm gonna go in with Peaches and Dreams along my lower lid. Oh, this color is so much nicer than the color I just put on. This one's really buttery. This is Peaches and Dreams. It's much better than Creme de la Peach. I'm basically layering some of that Peaches and Dreams on top of Creme de la Peach. And I think I'm gonna try a little bit of Peach Sorbet at the lower lid. It's a good transition color. Although I feel like this is a really weird pastel look thing. I'm gonna put a little bit more of that peach suede, the outer lid, and then I'm gonna grab some of that darker color on the grill and just shade. And I did have a super amount of fallout just now from peach suede because I didn't tap off my brush. But before I was being pretty careful and didn't see a lot of fallout. Yeah, I don't like this look at all, but this is what I came up with. So we've got 3 colors left. I'm taking Peach Smoothie, which is the pink shade. Ooh, it's very, very light and very pastel. I'm gonna use it basically in the smoky dome shape. I'd say this color blends out pretty easily. Use a little bit of Peaches and Cream to soften the transition of the edges. I'm going to use Glistening Peach on the lid. This color basically looks like NARS Orgasm in an eyeshadow. It doesn't apply very well with a dry brush, so I'm gonna try wet. It just doesn't want to seem to come out of the pan. Like it's like it's flaking. It looks much better when used wet, much like the purpley blue color. I just don't think it looks great. All right, I'm gonna use Fuzzy for my lower lid. Fuzzy's just fine, like it's a great color. But I'm really not impressed with Peach Smoothie or Glistening Peach. I am gonna go ahead and do one last look with this palette so that I have something on my eyes whenever I'm recording my review. And this time around, I'm using the Colorescience primer, the 3-in-1 eye treatment primer because it's tinted. I am setting as usual with my Milani Prep Set Go setting powder. I'm using Sweet Fig as my transition color and lid color. Using Peach Cream to blend out the edges. Using Sweet Fig under the lid, or the lower lid rather. This would probably be a good like everyday minimal eyeshadow type look, but I'm gonna add some on the grill to add some definition. And I need a little bit of sparkle, so I'm gonna put Peach Passion on my lid. Okay, now that you've seen the swatches and the demo of the colors, I'm gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about the palette. The palette is $45. You get 12 eyeshadows. They are 0.04 ounces each, so they're a little bit smaller than average. The typical eyeshadow size is 0.05 ounces, so it's just a little bit smaller for each shade. Now, I personally found most of the mattes on this palette to be very powdery. I found it best to basically lay my brush like kind of pat it on the shadow and then go from there to apply the color. Whenever I tried to sweep it across the color too much, it would kick up way more powder than I was expecting. The glittery shades were very, very densely packed, almost like a completely different formula, and for some of them, it was hard to get any good color payoff. Some of these colors, I don't agree with the description that Too Faced gave them at all. Like On the Grill is definitely a charcoal gray in my opinion. Fuzzy, they call it a matte creamy gray. I would actually consider it more like a taupe because it really, I feel it has a lot of brown to it. It's definitely cool toned, but definitely has brown tones. I love Sweet Fig, but I love that sort of mauve color on me. I think it's a great transition shade or a great crease shade. Or if you just want like a one and done eyeshadow, that's the sort of color I would wear. I found Peach Smoothie to be very pastel-like, like a pastel pink, and I didn't think it had the best pigmentation, though it blended out okay and I could build it up without a problem. Peach Sorbet had really nice pigmentation. I did not like Creme de la Peach. It looks like it has glitter in it, like a gold glitter in it, but when you put that on the lid, it doesn't really translate to that in the lid. It looks just more like a pastel orange, and I didn't really feel like it had the best color payoff. It was a very disappointing shade. Peaches and Dreams was a much better color. That color applied very easily and was very buttery. It was probably one of the best colors in the palette. It's a shimmer formula. Glistening Peach was disappointed. Now, Glistening Peach reminds me of NARS Orgasm, like a peachy pink with a gold shift and gold glitter, but it was just very difficult to get out, and I felt like basically I was kind of almost digging at the color, so I didn't think it was very good. Peach Cream was great as a base shade or to blend out the edges of other colors, and Peach Suede was great too. So I'm going to be honest with you, I bought this palette hoping that it would be as good as the original Sweet Peach, and in my opinion, it's not. I do really like about 4 of the colors in the palette. I really like Sweet Fig, Peach Passion, On the Grill, and Fuzzy. Those 4 colors worked very well for me. Peach Ice, which is supposed to be like a white with gold sparkle, it's just like a white shimmer on me. I didn't see any gold. I forgot to mention that. I did like Peach Suede, Peach Cream, Peach Sorbet, and Peach Fuzzy, so hold on, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I like 7 of the colors in the palette, but I don't like the remaining colors at all, and I'm going to return it. I know that sounds horrible, but I'm just not that impressed with it. I really, really didn't like the Creme de la Peach, and I was disappointed by Glistening Peach because I feel like a lot of other brands have a similar color to that performs really beautifully. So I'm kind of confused as to why this is so bad. I will say that I'm impressed that Peach Passion turned out to be so good because normally Too Faced purples are terrible, and this one actually worked really well for me. Another thing, Too Faced says that this features an ombre layout for easy transitions, and I just don't see it. I mean, when I look at the palette, I don't see... Maybe I'm blind, I just don't see it, but I don't feel like this is an ombre. I don't feel like this is an ombre. I don't feel like this is an ombre. Even if I go down, I don't feel like it's an ombre. So I feel like maybe that copy was like copied from the Sweet Peach palette and carried over, but I don't see it. I really don't. So yeah, anyway, I guess that's my opinion on the palette. I found it disappointing. I don't recommend it, and I'm gonna return it. What are your thoughts? Please be sure to let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video and found it entertaining or helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share. And if you haven't already, click on that little subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in my next video.